Alright my friends, my name is Jack Billings and I'm the CEO and founder of Shed Knives, and today I want to teach you guys why it's so important to have a clean shop or just wherever you're working to have a clean environment. So I'm going to go into detail on that today. I'm going to show you guys what I do to help me keep a clean shop, a clean environment, so that way I can get great stuff done and make high quality knives. But before we do that, I want to know, what are you guys carrying today? For me, I'm carrying two knives. I have my CRKT M16. This is the M16-140 specifically. I've been carrying this for a little bit now, and I really like it. I've had this for a few years though, but I like to alternate through my collection. So this one really been standing out to me recently, and it matches my 2023 Shed Knives Skewer. So let me show you that one. Featured in Coyote Tan G10, the 2023 Shed Knives Skewer has to be one of my go-to smaller everyday carry knives. This is in 154 cm steel, 58 to 60 Rockwell, hollow grinds as well, and just an absolutely stunning blade. So this is sold out right now on shedknives.com, but it will be coming back for the 2024 collection, which should be dropping sometime in March. I don't have a specific date yet, but stay tuned for that. So let me know what you're carrying down in the comments, so that way we can continue the discussion. And if you like knives, be sure to go visit shedknives.com, so that way you can check out some awesome 100% USA made knives. All right, let's get into the video. Having a clean shop is extremely important for many reasons. But first off, I'd say the most important reason to have a clean shop is so that way you know where everything is, okay? If you have stuff laid out from project after project after project and you haven't put it anywhere, then you're gonna start losing things, okay? For example, this belt sander right here, I keep everything that I need for the belt sander in the same spot. Let me show you. So obviously I'm gonna need some belts for this machine, so I keep the belts that I actively use right here, and all the belts that I keep an inventory of that I'll use later on. I keep the 36 grits in here that I use quite a bit, and then let's see under here, I have used 36 grit belts, which I use for smaller projects. Maybe I need to grind something off of the G10 or something like that. I keep those in here. Moving down, I always have an open drawer. You gotta have an open drawer, and that's because you might need to store stuff. And I've gone through a lot of these drawers in the shop to clean out and just kind of limit the amount of stuff I have, so that way I have a lot of open space I can use when needed. I also keep extra knife blanks in here, but as I'm coming to the end of the 2023 collection, that's why this is pretty much empty. And then I just keep my extra belts around that are all different types of grits, but they're organized in the correct grit pattern, or at least just in the correct pattern that I need them. I also have more 36 grit belts down at the bottom, since not enough room up top. But anyways, you gotta have the stuff you need in the right places. Also, I do a lot of swapping of my wheels. So, for example, this 8-inch contact wheel I use when I'm grinding my G10, but I also need this big wheel, which I'll be honest with you, I don't know the exact diameter of this here or the exact width, but I keep these right here so I can just swap them out very fast, very easy. But having what you need in the general area of where you use it will save you time, and it will implant it in your mind, so that way you don't have to go searching through the whole shop for stuff. Let's talk about material for a second. I know a lot of knife makers that have their material just all over the place, on shelves, barely marked, okay? For me, I do not find that helpful. I find that actually more harmful than anything else, just having material scattered all over the place, or just scattered all over a drawer or a shelf or something like that. So that's why I keep my material separated by color and by size. Now this may be because I use a guaranteed amount of material every year. I know I'm going to use no more than 6 colors for a certain knife collection. Like the 2023 collection, I know I'm going to have 6 colors, both small and large, so that's why I can organize it. And I also have extra scales for knives, like for example the Resilience. I have extra scales down here, so if I need to pick through that or use that, I have them here, where when I'm actually assembling my knives, I know, okay, here's my Tiffany blue G10 in the larger cut, and it's all together. It's not scattered, it's not just all over the place. It's in one area, and it's right in front of where I work with it, which, again, important. You need stuff right where you're working, or at least very close to it, so you're not running around through your shop trying to find stuff. I also want to touch on how important it is to have a lot, if not all, of your machines on wheels. Let me show you. So this is my belt sander that I use for my Kydex, and this thing I have on wheels. So I can bring this over to different places, I can use it, and also if I need to use this table, well, I can just take the machine off like that and move it somewhere else. So everything in my shop, or at least most things in my shop, are set up on wheels, so that way I can move them around when I'm adjusting my processes, when I'm adjusting my steps, or adjusting just my general shop setup. Maybe I need to clean stuff. Let me tell you, it's so much easier to clean your shop when things are on wheels. Because if this was not on wheels, I would have a very hard time getting into the corner so I can clean, sweep, vacuum, all that stuff. So I encourage you, I highly encourage you, put your stuff on wheels. Do it. Find workbenches that are on wheels. And now, sure, not everything can be on wheels, like my Tormach 770M. It's kind of hard to put on wheels. I mean, I guess I could do it, but that thing would be moving and shaking around the whole shop, so that's definitely not something I want to do. But if you plan on moving machines or tables or whatever, again, put it on wheels. While I have you over here, I want to show off a few things I've done with my computerized systems, okay? The Tormach 770M, which is my newest CNC machine for the 2024 models, it's got a lot of electronic components, which I'll show you shortly. But to keep them clean while I'm in a dusty environment, I put towels, like these cloth towels, over my machines, over my keyboard. You can see here's one of my keyboards right here, my mouse, all of the electronic components. I keep towels over them, so that way I'm not smothering them. Like if I put a very thick blanket or something and these things were plugged in, I would have the opportunity, the wrong opportunity by the way, but an opportunity to get everything hot because it can't breathe. Where the cotton towels give enough breathing room, but also enough room where dust won't like completely cake my system. So I have that here. I also have another towel on the air vent of the Tormach 770M because the back panel is full of electronic components and just pieces. So let me show you that. See, like I said, a lot of electronic components in here, a lot of motherboards, you could say, a lot of different wires, plugs, just all sorts of stuff in here that I do not want covered in dust, dirt, and just whatever else is emitted from the shop. So that's why I put a towel over the air vent up top, because this thing blows air out. There's also another one that I don't know if it puts air in or out, but anyways, these things breathe, and to have dust going in to the system, it's not something I need. So that's why I keep this on top, and also I make sure to lock everything up and just keep it secure. So anyways, make sure you keep electronic stuff covered. Let's talk about brooms for a second. I have 2 brooms in my shop. This is the one I use the most, but I have 2 brooms because they have different ends to them. Okay, this is more softer, so this is going to get a lot more of the dust off of the shop, where I have a larger one, which will get all of the tougher material like It'll get all my G10 chunks, all the Kydex pieces, all of the larger components. This will take care of, which will not really muck up the other broom I have, the more softer bristle. So I encourage you to have the right brooms as well. Now, yes, for knife makers, not a lot of them have clean facilities, clean shops, whatever. At least from what I've found, having a dirty shop does not help, and it's very undervalued, especially in the knife industry. And I'm not sure why that is, because we all want clean knives. We all want clean components. But for some reason, so many knife makers do not value a clean shop, or at least they won't take the time to do it. Where for me, today, this is what I walked into. Now, yes, I could clean up some of the blinds. I could do that, but I'm in the middle of working. Okay, I'm getting a lot of knives done, getting a lot of knives out. You just need to be careful that you're not saying that to every single spot in your shop. Oh, I'm working here. Oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm there. You can only really be in one place at a time. And right now, I'm over here. So that's why that's a little messed up. Now, I do want to mention that while you're working, at least for me, when I'm working, my place gets absolutely destroyed. There's dust, there's dirt. It's just absolute chaos. Now, that's okay, because remember, you're working, you're getting stuff done, you're making knives, you're getting projects completed. Fine, it's going to happen. But when you leave that shop, it better be clean, so that way you are not walking into chaos the next day or the next time you're here in the shop. So that's something I like to do. I like to make sure my facility, no matter how big or how small, is clean. So when I walk through that door into my shop, it is not absolutely full of chaos from the day before. So make sure you clean up after you're done, especially. If you need to clean up before you start working, when you first get in here, you definitely did something wrong. So set yourself up for success. Set up your team for success. You don't want to set traps. It's like throwing a hand grenade during a 5K run, and then you're just going to run right into your hand grenade. You don't want to set yourself up for failure as you move down the road. You want to set yourself up for success as you're moving down the road. Sure, it takes a few extra minutes today, but tomorrow you don't have to deal with it. And that's fantastic. Also, last thing, my friends, I encourage you to change your respirator mask filters every month to 2 months, depending on how often you're in the shop. For me, I am in here many days in the week, so I need to change my filters out at least every month, and that way it keeps my lungs clean, keeps my lungs healthy, and it just is better for your breathing just in general. Lungs or not, you notice with cleaner filters, there's less resistance in there, so it makes it not as hard to breathe through that bulky mask. Have clean filters, change those out. I know some people that just never change them out, and it does not help them at all. And down the road, it will definitely not help at all. So change those mask filters. But that brings me to the end of the video. If you like knives, be sure to hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to check out shedknives.com. I'll put a link to the description down below, so you guys can go support Shed Knives from there. And yeah, that's about it. So my name is Jack. I make knives, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.